You are not being yourself. You are protecting a construction, and the cost of maintaining it is draining your real life. This is not confidence. If the mask slipped today, who would you be without it? You did not wake up one day and decide to become fake. You adapted. As a child, you scanned faces before you spoke. You learned which tone earned approval. You memorized which emotions were safe. You noticed which parts of you made people uncomfortable. So you edited yourself. That edit became your personality. You call it growth. You call it maturity. You call it social intelligence. But look closer. You built a version of yourself designed to survive other people's expectations. Because right now, think about the last time you disagreed with someone but stayed quiet. Notice how fast your body chose safety over truth. That reaction is not random. It is programming. Your fake personality has one mission: avoid rejection at any cost. It studies the room. It adjusts your voice. It edits your opinions mid-sentence. It laughs when you are not amused. It nods when you want a challenge. You think this makes you likable. In reality, it makes you replaceable. Because when you remove your edges, there is nothing distinct left to hold on to. Here is the mechanism. Your nervous system associates authenticity with danger. Somewhere in your past, being fully yourself led to criticism, embarrassment, or exclusion. Your brain logged that event as a threat. So now, whenever you feel the impulse to speak honestly, your body tightens. Your chest contracts. Your words soften. You shrink in real time. And you call it being polite. Hammer this into your awareness. You are not afraid of conflict. You are afraid of losing attachment. You are afraid of being seen without control. Your fake personality is a social shield. It filters out anything that might disrupt approval. But every filter has a cost. The more you perform, the less you feel. Think about how often you say you are fine. How often you say it is no problem. How often you accept things you resent. Each time, you move one step further away from yourself. Pattern interrupt. Stop reading for 3 seconds. Ask yourself what emotion you are suppressing right now. Most people cannot answer that question immediately. That is not emotional strength. That is emotional disconnection. Your fake personality thrives on that disconnection. It convinces you that self-abandonment is necessary for belonging. And it works. People accept the version of you that does not challenge them. They praise the version of you that does not disrupt comfort. They reward the version of you that stays predictable. So you reinforce the mask. You polish it. You refine it. You become proud of it. But underneath, pressure builds. Because the real you is not gone. It is compressed. Suppressed anger does not disappear. It mutates. It leaks out as sarcasm. It leaks out as exhaustion. It leaks out as quiet resentment. You start feeling irritated by small things. You feel misunderstood even when no one attacked you. You feel alone in rooms full of people. That loneliness is not caused by isolation. It is caused by inauthentic presence. If no one knows the real you, connection becomes performance. And performance is lonely. Here is where it deepens. Over time, you forget which parts were original and which were constructed. You cannot tell if you genuinely enjoy something or if you learn to enjoy it because it earned approval. You cannot tell if your goals are yours or inherited expectations. You cannot tell if your confidence is real or carefully rehearsed. Identity blur begins. You feel unstable when alone. Silence feels uncomfortable. You reach for distraction. Because without an audience, your fake personality has no function. Ask yourself this. Who are you when no one is watching and you are not trying to impress anyone? If that question feels heavy, that is the fracture point. Your constructed self cannot survive sustained self-observation. So it avoids introspection. It keeps you busy. It keeps you scrolling. It keeps you comparing. As long as you are externally focused, you do not have to confront internal emptiness. But emptiness grows. You may notice a strange fatigue. Not physical, existential. You feel like you are carrying something invisible. You are carrying the weight of constant self-monitoring. Every conversation becomes a calculation. Every interaction becomes a micro-strategy. What should I say? How should I respond? Will this make them like me? That mental load never turns off. And you wonder why you feel drained after social events. It is not socializing that exhausts you. It is performing. Hammer this. Performance is not connection. Approval is not intimacy. Adaptation is not identity. Read that again. Your fake personality also creates another problem. It attracts people who prefer the version of you that is easy to control. If you always agree, you attract those who expect agreement. If you never assert boundaries, you attract those who ignore them. If you minimize your needs, you attract those who overlook them. Then you feel used. But you train them. You train them to expect a smaller version of you. This is the part most people avoid. You are not only a victim of social conditioning. You are an active participant in maintaining it. That realization stings. Discomfort means the mask is cracking. When identity collapse begins, confusion follows. You might suddenly feel anger at people who have done nothing new. You might feel the urge to withdraw. You might question relationships that once felt stable. That is not instability. That is suppressed authenticity resurfacing. Your system is recalibrating. But here is the danger. When the fake personality weakens, you may panic because it kept you safe. It helped you fit in. It prevented confrontation. It minimized risk. Letting it go feels like stepping into social exposure without armor. Your body will resist. You may overcorrect. You may swing from passive to aggressive. You may confuse honesty with hostility. That is not your true self either. That is backlash. Real authenticity is quieter. It does not shout. It does not perform rebellion. It simply refuses to shrink. There is a moment in this process where you realize something unsettling. Many of your achievements were fueled by fear of not being enough. You worked hard to prove your worth. You achieved securing validation. You shaped your identity around what impressed others. If you remove that fear, who are you without the chase? That question destabilizes people, because if your motivation was insecurity, then your drive was built on instability. Another pattern interrupt. Imagine losing the ability to impress anyone. No one can see your success. No one can applaud your growth. Would you still pursue the same path? If the answer is unclear, your identity is externally anchored. Externally anchored identities collapse under silence. This is why some people feel empty after reaching milestones. The applause fades, the mask remains, and the real self is still waiting to be acknowledged. Not improved, not optimized, acknowledged. You fear that if you drop the act, people will leave. Some will. That is the unspoken cost. But those who stay will respond to something real. Real connection feels different. It feels slower, less flashy, more grounded. It does not require constant adjustment. When you speak honestly and your voice does not tremble, that is integration. When you say no without guilt, that is integration. When you express a preference without scanning reactions, that is integration. But you cannot reach integration without collapse. The false structure must weaken. And collapse feels like loss before it feels like freedom. You might grieve the version of you that kept everyone comfortable. You might miss the ease of being agreeable. But comfort built on self-erasure is not sustainable. At some point, your internal tension becomes louder than your fear of rejection. That is the turning point. You stop asking, will they accept me? You start asking, can I accept myself? That shift changes everything. Your fake personality was never evil. It was protective. It shielded you when you lacked power. But you are not powerless anymore. If you continue using survival strategies in safe environments, you imprison yourself unnecessarily. You do not need to impress to survive. You do not need to shrink to belong. You do not need to perform to be worthy. Let that sink in. Your identity is not what you perfected under pressure. It is what remains when pressure is removed. Right now, something inside you knows which parts are real and which are constructed. You feel it in subtle tension, in hesitation before speaking, in the quiet resentment after compliance. Those signals are not flaws. They are indicators. indicators that your system wants alignment. Identity collapse is not destruction. It is filtration. What survives is authentic. What fell away was performance. But here is the unresolved edge. If you dismantle the fake personality, you will confront emotions you avoided for years. Anger, shame, and you cannot outsource that work. No audience can process it for you. No approval can neutralize it. You must sit with it, alone. That is where most people retreat. Because without the mask, you face yourself directly. And you are not sure you will like what you see. The next stage is not about building a better mask. It is about tolerating the raw self without modification. Few people stay long enough in that discomfort to discover who they actually are. Will you? Or will you reinforce the familiar construction and call it growth again? The collapse has already started. You can feel it. The question is not whether the fake personality exists. The question is how long you will keep defending it. Silence that question, or follow it. Your choice determines what survives.